That's so funny because it's a bit laggy. Okay. Now, in order to see your comments, okay, boop, let's do that. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Hope you're all doing great. I am just mucking about with the live stream on YouTube because there's just been some shenanigans and stuff. So I am trying to see if this is going to work this morning. Good morning. Whoever's watching, I'd like to see who you are. Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday morning here in not so sunny Alberta, Canada. We've got a little bit of snow happening. That's all good. I wanted to take a little bit of time this morning to actually talk about something maybe that we just haven't dug into much lately on the Master Your Life show, because we're covering such extensive content around the bigger picture and big vibrational shifts and all that. But one thing that we haven't dialed into really at all in the last probably 3 months in any specific way is health and wellness. And the basis of Master Your Life, how the show all started, really was about helping people to be well. And while what we're doing right now is the big picture wellness, I want to dial a little bit into sort of the smaller, more microcosm level of wellness, as opposed to the macrocosm, which is the big out there. It's the little in here of how you can be well. And for those of you who are watching or are new to my work, I am a trained Qigong teacher, and I've been an athletic coach and a life coach for years and years and years now, like 3 decades, a very long time, and classically trained as counselor, and have had 2 children by birth and raised another 4. So had a big family and now into the grandma phase of things. In terms of overcoming health hurdles, I myself have had I was sexually abused, had a 100-pound weight gain as a result of that, and lost the 100 pounds about 23 years ago now, and have kept it off through a variety of strategies. I also almost died 20 years ago of atypical pneumonia. So all of the hubbub that is going on right now in the media about, people with illnesses and stuff, I know what it feels like to be really sick. And I was admitted and was hospitalized. And thank God that wasn't my time to go, because that would have been really hard on the family. However, because of that event, it certainly informed how I take care of my health and wellness, as do all of these things in our lives, right? So you're no different than me in that regard, I'm sure. And that you've had experiences along your lifespan that have informed you about how you want to live your life and how you want to feel. And that sometimes those are a bigger kick in the butt than other times. But we get our little kicks in the butt and then we kind of get things straightened out. And so for me, the big informing event, though, was having this Huntington's disease in our family. So Huntington's disease is an incurable neurological illness, and incurable meaning it's genetic. So there's all this talk right now about genetics, and a lot of people are very interested in it. But I've been very interested in it for my entire lifespan, because my grandma had this, and then further on in the family tree, historically, you can go back and look at who had it prior to her. My father has it, I have it, and then, and then there's some other people that have it also, but I'm only allowed to really talk about myself. So that's who I'm going to focus in on right now. And things have changed, in the amount of time that I've been on the planet. I grew up on a farm south of Viking, Alberta. So I'm a farm girl from right here in little old Alberta, Canada, and spent the first 18 years of my life living that lifestyle. So we had our own gardens, we grew our own food, we tended our own, chickens, and had our own eggs. And there wasn't a lot of chemicals in the food that I grew up on. Flash forward now to 50 some years later, and the truth is that most food sources are compromised. And even if you're really diligent about eating a clean diet, it's really difficult to not have any glycosides in your food. It's really difficult to not be living in the reality of a 5G reality. And for those of you who are interested in, there's this debate going on, well, are we in 5G yet, or aren't we in 5G yet? there's ways that you can research that to see if you are. And then there's strategies that you can take in order to, number one, block that, that attack on your body. And number two is to make your body more resilient. And so those are a couple of the realities that are certainly different than where I grew up, plus just the ongoing inundation of this media that's coming at us all the time. Again, even if we're really diligent, that does affect our health and well-being. It affects our emotional and energetic awesomeness, so we can turn into kind of feeling yucky pretty quick in this day and age. And with decades of eating food that's not that great for us, perhaps even having water that's been not that great for us, our body is really compromised on a day-to-day basis. And so I've been really interested in health and well-being because of wanting to prevent the onset of this disease. And of course, being well all the time is a good goal, right? It's an adulting kind of thing. But I definitely had more of an impetus, I think, the most because I could see the consequences of not being well. And in terms of this illness, there's cognitive decline, executive functioning problems, there's mental health issues, serious things that can cause you to, lose your work early. Emotional relationships change because, you're irritable all the time. And Huntington's is actually cell death in the brain. So it's not something that you can remove. Once the brain is dead, it's dead. And it is genetic. So when you look at on a DNA strand, it's actually on your DNA. And so in the case of Huntington's disease, there is every single case in the world can be traced back to one individual that started the whole thing, except in the case of one other. So that's kind of the genetic standard there. And so my question is, well, I wonder who had it first and how that happened, because I'm a reporter, right? I'm digging all the time for what's the truth around all this stuff. So right now, I know a lot about genetics. Long story short, I know a lot about epigenetics, and epigenetics is basically how you influence your environment so that you can have the best genetic expression possible. Genetic expression being how your body looks, feels, and functions. And because I have tried many things, investigated many things, researched many things, and been my own guinea pig, I can give you some pretty clear answers about what has worked and what doesn't work, and also the technological changes that have happened over the span of time since I started taking care of my health. And so I want to share this stuff with you because so many people struggle with being well. They're confused. It's chaotic. Like, people think they have to do punishing things to themselves. And that's a very Western way of looking at health and well-being. So no pain, no gain, very Western. And again, I'm a Qigong instructor. And I have done all the punishing activities. I have trained athletes in pretty much every sport that you can think of, and started a couple of gymnastics clubs in this province. And it was a gymnastics coach for several decades. So I've been around athletes that have had very punishing athletic careers and have seen, now in the last 10 years or so, through this different lens of going, is it really smart to actually be lining up for needing to have knee surgery, or knee replacement surgery and hip replacement surgery? Or should we be developing this, mindfulness about that our body is part of this journey and that taking care of our body is an important thing. And so I migrated over to doing Qigong and teaching Qigong because it takes care of all of the things that I was doing before when I was going to the gym and lifting heavy weights, when I was running every single day of the week, 10 kilometers a day, every day, and training athletes a couple times a day with them. So I was very extreme and in extreme good shape, as they would say, until my body started breaking down. So I wasn't actually in extreme good shape. I was in extreme bad shape, because if you're in extreme good shape, your body should be well functioning. Day to day, you should be able to rely on it and depend on it to feel good, to not be breaking down. And that was not my reality. So you don't need to do punishing things. You don't need to eat food that you don't like, food that tastes like cardboard. You don't need to drink stuff out of a shaker cup. So there's just strategies and things that I think are important for people to know. Now, you can do those things if you want, like that's up to you, but I'm just offering this as an alternative. And at 50 something years old, and as a grandmother of 3, I can tell you it's a lot more fun to be able to play with the grandchildren in a nice, smooth way with good strength and good mobility and good flexibility and the ability to kind of get down on the ground with them and to play than it would be to have myself in such bad shape that I can't actually enjoy picking them up, which is often what happens when people get back injuries and things like that. They can't actually pick up and cuddle their grandkids. It's just it's a sad, very sad state of affairs. Anyway, so here we are. And I guess I wanted to share also from my perspective, because I am a woman who has had children. And so I know that our bodies change when we have kids. I know a lot of men don't have the same physical issues that women have because they haven't had that experience, and their engineering of their body hasn't changed that much in the pelvic floor region. So I do Qigong also because it can help in the healing of that pelvic floor, of that energy center. So if you want to know more about the Qigong, you can definitely check out my link tree will be below this video. And I have on it Qigong classes that you can take, and you can find out more about that. For other things that I want to invite you to consider is, for this span of time, I've been on no medication. So since my near-death experience with pneumonia 20 years ago, I haven't been on any meds at all. So no pharmacy. And that's a big thing because most people are on something at this stage of life, or living off of over-the-counter medications, which also I really don't take anything. I don't even own a bottle of Tylenol or aspirin or any of that. And again, not saying that people shouldn't take that stuff or whatever. I'm just saying that it's just something that's not part of my reality. And I credit that with the lifestyle choices that I've made along the way, and some good genetics. That makes me laugh. I do have some good genetics, and then I have these really serious other ones. So when people go, "Oh, you're beautiful," I go, "Yeah, thanks, Mom and Dad, for the great genes." If only they knew. No. But again, it's just been an impetus and a catalyst for knowing how to take care of myself, and then also for sniffing out the snake oil stuff, and for being able to go, does that actually make sense that would actually make me feel better? And intuitively being able to go internally and go, no, that doesn't actually make sense. So all along this span of time for the past 20 years, I've just been hyper aware of how much product stuff is pushed that I don't really see the value of. So people will be selling weight loss stuff, and the people who are selling it are struggling still with weight, not just when they, sign up and enroll, but when, a year later or 2 years later or 5 years later, and they're still, kind of on that same old treadmill. And that's horrible. It's a horrible feeling to be unsuccessful when you think that you're going to have something that's going to help. So again, my program, I can help you to lose that weight, get it off. If you're dealing with fairly significant illnesses or significant health challenges, I can help you with that through some nutritional guidance and some intuitive learning about yourself, life coaching. So I still do that one-on-one with clients. I was running a group program, but I do find it to be kind of ineffective, and not everyone is suitable because not everyone wants to put in the work, because there is some work required. But the good news is recently, because I know nobody wants to do the work, they just don't. So that's how we're wired right now. But right in this moment of time, December 16th, we've got this really cool thing going on in the universal system where there's this compressing energy that's been happening almost all year. So some of you might be feeling better than you felt at the beginning of 2020, and some of you might be feeling significantly worse than you were feeling. But right now is this golden opportunity to really find your footing again. And this is nothing about New Year's resolutions at all. This is a much bigger thing. But to find your footing again and to go, okay, ask yourself and be conscious, do I actually like how I feel? And whether that's that your body is a little bit overweight, or that you're just out of tune and out of alignment, or if you really feel like you've got some cognitive stuff going on, or you're feeling enormously, stressed, anxiety, depression, angry, irritable, more irritable than normal, short-tempered, short-sighted, that all of those emotional things are often connected to what's going on physiologically. So just again, I want to invite you, you can get a hold of me. We can chat more about that, or you can tell me what it is you'd like me to talk about in the next couple of weeks, because I'm going to be doing these YouTube lives for the next few weeks, because I really do want to help people to navigate this time successfully so that you can identify what you want, have what you want, and be working towards what you want instead of the opposite of that, which is kind of that self-destruct mode, right, guys? Yeah. Okay, awesome. So one of the things that I have found recently that has been a huge help and is scientifically proven to work. And again, I was excited about it because it's genetic. It's a genetic activator. And again, not because I have such an aversion to snake oil. I myself have not supported anything on the Master Your Life show since 2016. There's not been anything that I have gone, take this supplement, and this is the best thing in the world. Because there's been nothing, in my opinion, that deserves that kind of support from me. And again, because I take my health really very seriously. But I came upon this product recently and went, holy, okay, I'm going to pay attention to this. So I'm going to show you the marketing for it, because this is marketing, but it spoke to me. And I went, oh my gosh, that's a DNA strand. And look at how sparkly and nice and beautifully clean it is. Because that's what I want my DNA to look like, because it doesn't. But if I can do something to activate things, then I'll do that. So it got me curious. Okay, like, what is this and how can I find out more about it? But so I will tell you that I was really excited, because it's also, I went, is it credible? Because that's number one for me in promoting anything. Are the people I work with credible? Am I showing up in my own life credible? And if this is something that is going to help people, I want you to know about it, and I would want everybody in the world to do it. So just like Qigong, there's my life before Qigong and my life after Qigong. I think it would be lots of fun for everybody just to try Qigong, because it's so good, feels so good. Anyway, that said, I feel like this about this particular thing. So I want to share with you the link below. It's a genetic activator. And for those of you who want to have a biohack, so this is actually an official biohack to help you to feel better in a fairly short amount of time. So there's science and research that is involved. This company is traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So in order to be publicly traded, you actually have to have scientifically peer-reviewed studies of whatever it is that you are promoting. So this is a very big differentiator for me from all of the privately owned companies, because they can, quite frankly, say whatever they want. So just to give you peace of mind and to share what my peace of mind was from my perspective, I went, okay, I'll take a look at it. And because that gave it credibility for me after being through really serious health issues and wanting to prevent the onset of a really serious health issue. Yeah, I just think it's life-changing for people. So yeah, that's all I want to tell you about today, guys. So take a little look at the link tree below this video. When I get off, I'll post it, because I wish I could tell you that I'm that coordinated that I can do it during the actual video, but no. And or you can go Linktree Leaha Mattinson and you can find me there, of course, or you can find the link tree on any one of my other videos with Sasha recently. Those would be the most recent videos. And you can also find out the other things I'm up to. So I'm an author. I've got a book called Silver Linings and a companion guide that's a journal, so helping people to be conscious. That was published in 2016. And I've been on this health and wellness journey a long time. And what would bring me the most pleasure is to see people to have clarity, not confusion, about what actually can make them feel good and something that they can easily implement day to day. Why does that matter to me? Because I know that people who are vibing with good health are happier, and a happier world and a more uplifted world. That is what I would most desire in my heart for all of us. Because you know, when you're not healthy, that you cannot focus on anything else except your health. And so we can do some things to prevent the onset of a lot of dis-ease and things that don't make us feel good. Even if we're living in circumstances that are incredibly stressful, incredibly challenging, unreasonable, even maybe, but we can still figure out ways to support our physical body, because that we're here in this physical body. So we can't just ignore it. We need to pay attention to it and to love it and to take care of it and to nourish it. And this is one of the best ways I've seen in my life span to actually do that. So come and check out the science with me, and if you're interested in more information, you're going to, of course, let me know. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please invite more people to subscribe to the channel, to like and to share. And if you can have any subject matter that you would like me to talk about during these, I'm going to kind of call it divine health webinars, then the divine health time. Submit your questions to me at leah@leahamattinson.com, or you can leave your comments below the video, and I will do my very best to address and answer any of your health questions. Yeah, so excited to be doing this. And then maybe the next time that we do it, if there's enough interest, we will get a Q&A going, and I will figure out somebody to give me a hand with that. Because talking and doing Q&A at the same time probably might be a little bit outside my coordination level. All right. Thanks all. I hope you have a wonderful day. That's all for me. Bye for now.